How well do you know you're reporting verbs for argument and persuasion? Here's a quick rundown of some of the most frequently used ones and their meanings. First off, we have assure. This verb is used to eliminate any doubt or uncertainty. For example, the team leader assured her colleagues that the project would be finished on schedule. Next up is encourage. Encourage means to give support, confidence, or hope to someone. An example would be the coach encouraged his players to give their best in the final match. Moving on to interpret. To interpret is to describe the meaning of something. For example, the historian interpreted the ancient texts to understand their significance. Justify is another important verb. It means to give a good reason for an action. For instance, she justified her decision to switch jobs by stating the benefits of the new role. Reason is a verb that means to make judgments based on practical facts. For example, he reasoned that taking the bus would be more economical than driving. Argue is a verb that means to provide reasons or evidence in order to persuade someone that an action or idea is right or wrong. For example, the lawyer argued that his client was innocent. Boast means to speak too proudly or show too much satisfaction. For instance, he couldn't help but boast about his recent promotion at work. Contend is to state something as truth or claim. For instance, the scientists contended that climate change is a pressing issue. Persuade means to cause someone to do something through reasoning or argument. For example, she persuaded her friend to join the yoga class with her. Convince is similar to persuade, but it involves changing someone's belief or course of action. For instance, he convinced his parents to let him go on the school trip. Exhort is to strongly encourage or try to persuade. For example, the speaker exhorted the audience to take action against climate change. Forbid means to not allow something. For instance, the teacher forbade the use of smartphones in class. Insist is to state or demand forcefully. For example, she insisted on paying for the meal. Prove means to show something to be true. For instance, the detective proved that the suspect was innocent. Warn is to inform someone in advance about a possible danger or problem. For example, the weather forecast warned of a severe storm. Lastly, threaten is to warn of something unpleasant. For example, he threatened to leave the job if conditions didn't improve. In summary, we've covered 16 verbs today. Assure, encourage, interpret, justify, reason, argue, boast, contend, persuade, convince, exhort, forbid, insist, prove, warn, and threaten. Understanding these verbs and their usage will go a long way in enhancing your argument and persuasion skills.